What are you finding? If there were three takeaways or benefits for you as a business leader in outsourcing, what would you say the three benefits for you? You've mentioned savings, the $300,000 savings. I'm not sure where that is. Is that an hourly rates or an efficiency? I'm not quite sure. If you could just explain, just talk me through what you think the key benefits to outsourcing for you from your perspective in construction are.
Okay, so look, I guess number one would be what's happening as frontline leaders is they are doing a lot of work in the morning in the office, looking at plans, printing plans, uploading different components of their projects, and they're not getting out into the field till, they're probably spending 3 or 4 hours in the field. So the key point for me is if your frontline leaders are in the office doing stuff that's taking them away from what they really should be doing, they're not doing their job. So we've really got to make sure that the field, as I said earlier, if your field teams, all that they've got to focus on is quality and safety. Actually, safety and quality. Safety, quality, safety. The rest will fall into place. We need the supervision. We need them making sure that they're doing it safely. We need them to give them the guidance, coach and mentor them in the field. So for me, number one is you've got the supervision, you've got people out there doing what they should be doing. The second key for myself would be ensuring that all the planning is well and truly prepared for during pre-construction. So it enables, again, it gives you that opportunity if you're planning well ahead in advance, when you've got these things that change in the field, you're able to adapt quite quickly and keep your field teams, working or productive. And thirdly, look, I don't like to say it's all about the bottom line, but the byproduct, people think, what's the byproduct of a successful team? And I suppose the end of it is we make a bit of money out of it, So for me, it's about making sure things are in place so everybody actually enjoys what they're doing. They can plan their whole day knowing that, even if some unforeseen circumstances arises, we've got processes in place which will enable us to continue, or redirect our teams, go through a change management process and know that, the guys can actually, have a successful day. Because sometimes there's a lot of days out there where you're grinding away, getting nowhere. And it's quite, as a construction worker or any worker, it can be, demoralizing, and you think, I've spent 12, 14 hours out in the field and what have we achieved? And that is actually quite infectious across the whole team. So, the benefit for me, the byproduct is everybody's happy. Well, we get to come back again the next day. We've all got our fingers, toes, we're all safe, and we get to live and work another day, another week, another month, another year. The byproduct of making, everybody thinks it's making money, but it's actually about continuity and keeping people employed, keeping people happy, having a nice, happy environment where we're always looking after each other and watching out for each other.
And I must admit, the one that resonated with me too is you've got your key people actually focusing on the stuff that matters. That they're there to pick up the pieces. They're there driving the loss and the wins when it comes to your cash flow. I guess they're actually literally in the trenches and not sitting in an office trying to work something out in a spreadsheet for 2 or 3 hours in a day, which we've all been guilty of, I'm sure. Can I ask on that note? I was alluding to it before. I was quite surprised in your journey when you and Sam, coming across someone who'd been doing some outsourcing and sort of going and doing your own exploration into the Philippines. Why? And I was just saying, so there are some industries that have adopted this as a way of doing the same things. Making sure their gun real estate agents or property managers are actually servicing their customer. Very professional business. So they make sure all the tedious stuff, they've got their stars, servicing their customers in the front line 24/7. So being this is quite common in real estate for the last 10 years, and the last 5, it's exploded. I'm very interested to hear. Now, there's the cultural stuff that you were alluding to before, but we've all known that for, since Telstra started moving everything over about 10, 15 years ago. Why do you think in construction, it just seems to be like an industry that's been a late adopter to outsourcing versus many other industries? Why do you think that is?
Look, I guess in the smaller companies, if you can't look at it yourself and touch it yourself, no one else can do it. It's having that trust and confidence that you've got the capable resource, intelligent resource to be able to take that off your hands and take that off your plate, so you can actually focus on what you do best. We can't have engineers and supervisors that should be out in the field sitting in the office. We've got to have all that prepped and planned for them. If you think about the real estate, they've been doing it for 10 years, right? About 10, 15 years ago, a salesman would have been doing 3 or 4 hours in the office in the morning, 3 or 4 hours in the evening. If that person isn't out there, selling houses and meeting with potential buyers and vendors, he or she's not doing their role. So it's about taking those, I guess we can call them mundane tasks for, your frontline people, but they're necessary tasks, and sometimes, there are people that are more capable of doing that a lot more efficiently, a lot more quicker, utilizing technology, different IT applications that can actually improve it. And as they improve, they're actually working on, multiple tasks at the same time. So it ends up sort of becoming a sausage factory in the back of house as it would do in the field, because each component of a project, starting from pre-construction through to construction and then handover, right, they're more or less 3 different sausage factories, but they all roll into each other. And within each sausage factory, you've got another breakdown of sausage factories, whether it's from civils through to hauling, through to splicing and testing. In a construction project for building a pipeline, it's the same thing. It's your dial before your digs, it's your dilapidation reports, it's your route surveys, your design, and then you start to do your second lot of dilapidation reports, and then you move into construction. They're all different facets of a whole big end picture. But as we look at it, that really 70% of that closing out a project is happening before and after the actual work. It's all about scalability as well, because organizations will be looking for in the companies that can scale in line with their timelines. So when we say about preparing, it's training your staff and making sure you've got the right resource levels and plant, etc. But it's also, being able to demonstrate to your clients that, you're here for the long haul. We have planned this. We've forecasted how we can provide our services to this project. And if we can demonstrate that and get yourself in the door, and a lot of it, once again, this is pre-construction stage or even at conception. You've got to be able to demonstrate that. I mean, anybody can dig a hole, but it's what happens before and after, and how you can plan for it, and how you can scale to the requirements of what's going to happen next year.